Good morning, boys and girls. Thank you for joining us today. Our first session is going to be with Acadia National Park, and this is Ranger Laura. If you're wondering, I've never heard of Acadia National Park. And not sure where that's located in the state of Maine. So that's in the northern and eastern part of the United States. Ranger Laura, thank you for being here. I'm so excited to learn all about your beautiful park.
Well, thank you so much, Kristen. I'm so excited to be here as well. Hi, everybody. My name is Laura, Ranger Laura, and I am a park ranger here at Acadia National Park. Welcome to the Animal Olympics. Thank you so much for inviting me into your classroom space. And for this program today, feel free to sit back and watch or join us if you would like to. We're going to be doing some little movements, some exercises, and you want to make sure that you have enough space to move around. So put your arms out to the sides and up top. Make sure that you can move all the way around, and you don't want to have any sharp edges or points in your space. So we're going to be standing up, we're going to be on the floor, lots of different things. So make sure that you guys are careful. We're going to listen to directions, right? And we're going to move safely in our space. And if you get tired, no worries. And if you don't want to do it anymore, just sit back and watch and answer the questions with us. So in Acadia here, we protect a lot of amazing things such as plants, water, rocks, lakes, forests, and animals. And that is what we're going to focus on today, the animals. Everybody show me in your space what your favorite animal is. Okay, and as you're doing that, I'm going to show you what my favorite animal is. It is any type of animal, mammal, that lives in the ocean. Marine mammals are my favorite. So I have a couple of questions for you, and I want you to answer with your hands. What body part does a squirrel have to help it climb up a tree? Anybody know? Yes, it's got great climbing claws to climb up that tree, right? Now, what body part does a bird have to fly? Anybody? With our hands out to the sides, yes, they have wings to fly, right? Claws and wings are really good examples of adaptations. You can remember the word adaptations by saying these things. So adaptations are body parts and behaviors, right, that help plants and animals survive and be strong in their particular environment or habitat. So on the count of 3, I want you to say adaptations with me. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, adaptation. Excellent job. So today we're going to participate in the Animal Olympics to better understand how adaptations are important for survival. So maybe you've heard of the Olympics. That's when people come together and they do a lot of big sporting events. I'm going to show you some examples of People Olympics. And if it's something that you like to do, I want you to give me a big smile and I want you to give me a double wave with your hands. Okay, you guys ready for this? I'm not very good at them, but the first one may or may not be an Olympic sport, but we used to do it a lot in high school and my brothers played it. It is football. Any of you play football there? Give me a double wave if you really enjoy football. This one I know is an Olympic sport. It is basketball, a little bit of dribbling, a little bit of shooting. Anybody out there like to play basketball? This one is my favorite. Volleyball, I loved it. I was a setter. I love to set the ball. I love to spike the ball. I love to dig the ball. And this is a really cool Olympic event as well. And our last one, give me a smile and a double wave if you like soccer, right? You can hit it off your head, off your knees, all of that stuff. All of these sports are definitely part of the People Olympics, but we're going to be doing special events here a little bit differently. The Animal Olympics won't be moving as much as we do with these sports, but we're going to be doing some sporty body movements, acting out animal adaptations. So we're going to need to prepare ourselves for the event. So what I want you to do is stand up or sit down, and we want you to reach up high, all the way up high. We're going to reach out to the sides, right? Oh, we're going to lean left and we're going to lean right and lean all the way down and touch your toes. Okay, are you guys ready for our first animal adaptation event? I want a drum roll on our legs, and it's going to be the deer jump. Okay, you guys ready? White-tailed deer can run 30 miles an hour, and they can leap as high as 6 feet in the air, and we have these white-tailed deer here in Acadia National Park. Later on, if you ask somebody in your house that's close to 6 feet tall, imagine a deer jumping as high as they are. Now that is way taller than I am. Now, we won't get a running start like the deer do, but we're going to see how high we can jump up just like this. Okay, you guys ready? Everybody stand up, and we are going to jump 10 times in the air, and I want to see how high you guys can get. Are you ready? Let's go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent job, you guys. So our deer have long legs and strong muscles and the ability to jump high and run fast. Why is this so important for surviving? I want you to say it out loud in your space. Why is that important? Perhaps they are going to run fast and jump high to avoid predators like these. These are coyotes. Now, I have a coyote skull to show you. It's a replica, so it looks just like the real thing. Can you guys see that? So it has its own set of awesome adaptations. They have long, pointy teeth for ripping and tearing. You guys see the front of those teeth? Look at that. Very, very cool. Looking at from this angle, you can see where their eyes are located in the front. And if their eyes are located in the front, we say eyes in the front, likes to hunt, okay? And that means it is a predator. So this guy is a predator chasing down those deer. Eyes on the side, if they're located on the side, it would like to run and hide. So those are going to be our prey, like our rabbits, right? So very, very cool. Okay, it is time for a wiggle break. I want you guys to put your hands up, and I want you to wiggle your hands a little bit to the side, a little bit to the side, maybe to the front, maybe to the back. And when I say freeze, I want you to freeze. Are you ready? And freeze. Is there any time that it's good to just be still? Baby deer, called fawn, they barely move until they're about 9 days old. It is an important survival tool until they can learn how to run. It keeps them hidden. All right, unfreeze. So check out this baby deer. I want you to notice the speckled fur that it has. And that speckled fur helps them to blend in with nature until they are old enough. Now, I'm going to take this picture, and I'm going to be coming forward, and I want you to yell when you see the baby deer in this picture. And we see him, right? See how he blends right in? Do you guys know what that word is for blending right in? We're going to say it on the count of 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Camouflage. Yes, great job, you guys. So everybody show me your antlers. I have some deer antlers here. Now all these body parts were cleaned up and they're used for our educational programming. Antlers are true bone. They're part of a skull. Now only males have these, and this is just one side of them. This one has how many points? It has 1, 2, 3, 4. So one side of this deer has got 4 points on it. So males use this adaptation for defense and fighting and competing with other males. What other animal has antlers that lives in Acadia? It is rare, so it means that there's not a lot of them, Let's write out in the air the first letter of the animal you think is an Acadia. You guys ready? I'm going to write it out here. It is the moose. And check out this antler. It is enormous. Look at that. Very cool. It's got many, many points. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe we're missing another one here. Excellent job, you guys, with our deer jumps. So we're going to do another drum roll. You guys ready for our second animal Olympic event? It is the squirrel balance. So I'm sure most of you have seen squirrels before. Squirrels balance really well as they run across tree branches. So we're going to stand up and we're going to see if we can balance on one foot. So I'm going to pick up one of my feet and I'm going to see how long I can stand on it before I fall over. Now, if I'm going to fall over, I'm going to put my foot down and then I'm going to pick up my other foot and I'm going to try to balance on that other foot. Is anybody else's arms going out to the side like mine are? So we have already talked about how squirrels use their claws to help them climb. What other body part could help keep them balanced? What did we use? So here's a hint. What do you think the squirrels are using to balance themselves on the branches? It starts with a letter T. Anybody out there know? Say it out loud in your space. It is a tail. Yes, they use their tails to keep them steady as they are leaping across those treetops. All right, drum roll for our next Animal Olympics. It is the ant planks. So ants are very, very strong insects. For their size, they're one of the strongest animals on Earth. They are able to lift objects much heavier than their own bodies. They can lift 10 to 50 times their body weight. A car weighs 50 times more than me. This is because they're so lightweight compared to their body area, so they have more energy to carry things around. So we're not going to try to lift 50 times our body weight. How about just our own body weight? We can do this by doing the ant plank. So what I want you to do is to find a safe spot on the floor, and we're going to put you in a position like you're going to do a push-up. So you're going to stretch your legs out, put your arms below your shoulders, and you're going to hold it for 5 seconds. Are you ready? And go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, if you get tired, we'll just lay down, but I'm sure some of you could have held it for a lot longer. Good job, you guys. So everybody get up, get back in your seats, and drum roll for our next Adaptation Olympics. It is going to be the hummingbird hand swings. So we have in Acadia what are called ruby-throated hummingbirds. They can be seen around forest edges, meadows, grasslands, and maybe you've seen them in gardens and in backyards. Now they beat their tiny wings over 50 times a second. So count to 1. Are you guys ready? 1. In that 1 second, they beat their wings 50 times. So what we're going to do is we are going to hold out our tiny wings on our sides right here, and we are going to see how long we can flap them in 10 seconds. Are you guys ready? And we're going to count them. On your mark, get set, get your wings going, and go. And stop. How many times did you flap in 10 seconds? Write out your answer in the air. I did 25 flaps in 10 seconds. A hummingbird could have done 500 flaps. Now, why is this a good adaptation? Well, this helps them hover in one spot, and they use their extremely long bills to reach inside the flower and get all the energy they need to continue on their migration. I have got this video clip to show you guys what these hummingbirds look like. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we are going to look at a ruby-throated hummingbird who is going to drink some nectar in a flower. And I want you to watch the wings. And I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And I want you to watch their wings as they hover. And they're in the flower right now. They are, oh, they use so much energy just to stay right where they are. And they're going to fly all the way around, up and down. Very, very cool. So, ruby-throated hummingbirds are very, very good at what they do. Let me go ahead and get my screen back for you guys. Okay, can everybody, yep, I am back. Sorry, that took me a long time. So these ruby-throated hummingbirds are amazing. They can hover with great control. So try hovering with me, and we're going to go down, we're going to go up. They can hover forwards and even backwards. No other bird can do that. Okay, you guys ready? We are going to do a drum roll on our legs again. And our next Adaptation Olympic event is our river otter swim squats. So otters can swim in chilly water. This is what a river otter looks like. And they can move pretty fast by moving their whole body up and down really quickly. This is how we're going to do our swim squats. So what I want you to do is to stand up again. We're going to put our hands on our hips, and we are going to squat up and down just like this, just a small squat. And we're going to do it 10 times. Are you all ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent job. So I would like to show you my river otter friend. She's very, very curious. She has a lot more adaptations. She's got thick fur to stay warm. She's got webbed feet. She has a propeller-like tail, and their long body and their flat head also make them very streamlined in the water. They're super flexible too, so they can make turns really, really quickly. And we see these guys often scurrying across the road and into the tide pool areas in Acadia to go and catch a snack from the tide pool. So, did you know that playing is a great adaptation? Snow and mudsliding, tail chasing, snow burrowing, these build bonds between these guys, which is like making friends. So, and it helps them to practice their hunting. I want you guys to say out loud in your space what you are going to do or what you are going to play later on today, because playing is super important. You guys ready? Excellent. Maybe you can put that in the chat later, what you're going to play later on today. So, drum roll for our next animal adaptation. It is the snake slither. Oh, and even though I don't like snakes, they are so very important. Here in Acadia, we have 5 different types of snakes. None of them are venomous, thank goodness. So we have the smooth green snake. You guys see that one? Good. And then we have the common garter snake down below. Excellent. We have the ringneck snake, the red-bellied snake, and the eastern milk snake. So I'm going to put these right next to one another, and I want you guys to point out which one is your favorite. Point to it right on the screen. Excellent job. So snakes have a lot of vertebrae, or what is the bones in their back, and they've got long muscles to help them move without the use of their arms or their legs. When they move, they can push off a tree root or a rock, or they can bump in the ground and make a curving motion. So what I want you to do is I want you to check out this video of a snake. This is the last one we're going to be watching today. And this snake was located alongside of the wooded area. And don't worry, the snake was actually in the road, but it did get up into the woods. And so to get back to safety. So let me see if I can upsize my screen here. It's taking a little bit longer than usual, so bear with me just one moment. But what I want you to notice when you're looking at this snake is I want you to notice what shape is it making? What shape is it making with its tail and its entire body? It's actually a letter in the alphabet. You guys watching? There it is. Did you see the letter in the alphabet there? Okay, I'm going to stop presenting. And I'm going to find you guys again. Here we are, and we're coming back. Excellent. So, what letter did that snake make? I want you guys to write it out in the air. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Yes, the snake made an S. Did you guys see that in that video? Very cool. So we are going to do the snake slither. I want you guys to stand up and we are going to slither. We're going to start out slow. We're going to slither a little bit to the side and to the other side, and we're going to keep slithering back and forth, and then maybe an owl is chasing us, so we're going to slither a little bit faster side to side. Excellent. And then maybe it's getting cooler out and we need to warm ourselves up in the sun, so we're going to slither a little bit slower. Excellent job. Very good, you guys. So the skull of a snake has a lot of adaptations as well. This is a really cool picture of the skull of a snake. Their teeth are curved backwards towards the inside of their mouth, and it helps to keep their prey moving in one direction, whole, right down their throat, right? So they swallow their prey whole. The back part of the skull here is more loosely connected. There would be a ligament connecting these parts in the front. It's like a stretchy rubber band. So they can open their mouth wider than normal to make sure that they get all of their prey in their mouth. So I want you to open up your mouth as big as you can. You guys ready? Go open it up. Okay, so if you were a snake, I want you to put your hands together, and now I want you to open up your snake jaw all the way open and wide. That's how wide a snake would be. Yes, so they can swallow those prey whole. Okay, we are ready for our very last Animal Olympic event here in Acadia. You guys ready? Drum roll for the last animal event. It is the bald eagle wing stretch. We're gonna slow it down here a little bit. So we actually do have bald eagles here. I saw 2 of them just this past weekend. So here is our bald eagle. He has a wingspan of about 6 feet from one tip all the way over to the other tip. You can measure your wingspan later. What you would do is go from one side to the other, and you can get a tape measure, and you hold that tape measure open. You can measure everybody's wingspan if you want to. Mine is longer than 5 feet, but not quite yet 6 feet. So you can see how big that eagle's wingspan is. So those large wings help the eagle soar through the sky in search of a meal. They have big eyes to spot their food, and they eat small mammals, other birds, and they even eat fish. So I want you to open your eyes really big so you can look at that prey, and I want you to put your wings out for a great big stretch, and I want you to slowly soar around your space and get a good stretch in the left and in the right. You can even turn all the way around, just like that. Good. Stretch those wings out and feel that stretch. Excellent job. So this brings us to the conclusion of our Animal Olympics today. I want you to show me with your body which animal would you like to be today? Do you want to be a deer? Do you want to be an otter? Do you want to be a ruby-throated hummingbird? An eagle that we just did? Maybe a snake or a squirrel? So you guys can show me in your space what you wanted to be. And we have about 4 minutes left in our program, and I would be so happy to be able to answer questions for you all about anything that we have in the park, anything I can answer for you today.
That was a fun program, Ranger Laura. Thank you so much.
You're
We
so
have a few questions. We'll see if you know, and if you don't know, the kids can maybe do some research later on it.
perfect.
They kind of want to know the size of Acadia Park compared to maybe a famous national park like Yosemite or
Yes. So
something like that, or Yellowstone. Is it smaller? Is it big?
Acadia National Park is one of the smaller national parks. It's about 50,000 acres. The main portion of our park is on a place called Mount Desert Island, which is where the city of Bar Harbor is located. We also have another island to the southwest called Isla Ho. Parts of our park are located on there. And we have a peninsula, which is where I actually am right now. It is to the east or to the right of that big Mount Desert Island. It's called the Schoodic Peninsula. Now, if you remember, a peninsula is 3 sides with water. We are the only part of Acadia that is located or is connected to the mainland. So that's where I am. And then we have about 18 other little islands in there. So although we're only 50,000 acres, we are in the top 10 of the most visited national parks in the country. And we have 3.5 to 4 million people a year that come and visit us.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot, yes. Especially descending on one island, right?
Yeah, especially. Another question came is these kids love these animals you talked about, and they want to know. They remembered you said you like the marine animals, but what is your favorite like land animal at your park that lives in your
So
park?
probably my favorite land animal would be the porcupine. Now we didn't highlight him today. Porcupines are really, really interesting and fun. They usually come out at night. We have had some baby porcupines around our campfire here. They like to sort of hang out in trees. And so when you are walking in the summer towards the nighttime, you'll just see these enormous porcupines sitting up in the trees. They eat bark, they eat leaves, they destroy a lot of trees. So some people may think of them as a nuisance, but I really enjoy them. And of course, you can't get too close, especially with your dogs, because they can release their quills, but they won't unless you're touching them. Their quills won't get into you. So he would be my favorite, the porcupine.
All right. We have another good question. Do you know when bald eagles have an egg, lay an egg, do they usually just have one at a time or multiple eggs?
You know, I'm not exactly sure about that, but I feel like they may have one or two. I know that I've seen some eagle cams where they would watch the nesting eagles, and I believe they have more than one, but that's a very good question.
All right, and I'm just gonna squeeze this one in. I know we're out of time, but they
Sure.
love the otters that you've shown
Yes.
and talked about. And they kind of want to know a little bit more about its movements. Does it spend more time on the land or more time in the water, do you think?
You know, I would tend to say probably more time in the land, although it can go in the water. These are like river otters, right? So they're not like the sea otters. The sea otters live on the west coast and they spend more time in the water. And those are the ones that you see usually upside down and they've got some sea urchins or something in their hands. But yeah, these guys, they spend a lot of time on land as well. And like I said, they like to sneak across the road. You'll see them. And when the tide goes out, they will get into the tide pool area and find some goodies to eat.
those are definitely my favorite animals in the wild, I think. Well,
Very
thank
good.
you so much for that
You are
fun
so welcome.
program.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great day.
Right.
Goodbye from
Thanks, boys
Acadia.
and girls. Hope to see you at our next adventure.
Mhm.